CCP, central counterparty clearing and collateral. Firstly, as a product of new regulation, Manmohan mentioned that standardized derivatives need to be cleared centrally. That is now a regulatory fiat. Means there's a lot of growth and activity that's occurring across CCPs, and I think the most recent CFTC report in January said that 64% of interest rate swaps are now centrally cleared. So we're talking a lot of activity going through, and they're becoming centers of concentrated risk. Now, CCPs on the positive clearly are reducing systemic risk because they bring together loss mutualization of tail risks. They also create some transparency. But what I'll get to in my remarks a little bit later, there's some unfinished business here because we haven't closed down what could be the beginning of building systemic risk, and we can close it down, and regulators and policymakers around the world are thinking about that. But back to the fundamentals of collateral. If collateral is going to be used as a building block for financial infrastructure and financial stability, it needs to have really important characteristics that we haven't really spoken about. One, not all collateral is created equal. Important for everybody to remember. While all collateral is good, it's not all equal. Two, having the right amount that you might need under stress really, really matters. And if it all goes wrong, regardless of whether or not you have collateral, you better have a backup plan, particularly when we're talking about systemically important CCPs, and that's some of the discussion to have here. So what are the right characteristics of collateral? Firstly, you have to be able to liquefy it, turn it into cash under all circumstances. Not just the nice fair weather economies that we deal in, but also when we're dealing under duress, in stress. And if this collateral is being used to underpin financial stability, like it will do in CCPs, it better have those characteristics, and it's really, really important. It needs to have reasonably transparent pricing and availability of pricing and reliable market depth, again, through whatever cycle we're talking about. Also important is that it carries the appropriate haircuts, because when you're going through economic stress, you have a change and fluctuation in pricing. And if you're going to go back to that collateral to make you whole, you really need to make sure you have enough of it, that you don't end up with a gap. And that's really what haircutting should be about. And back to the points about velocity is, it better be readily available. If I need to take possession of it, can I get my hands on it, or has it been rehypothecated away? And I think an important point to note here, not all collateral is allowed to be rehypothecated. And certainly it depends on what you're using it for. So don't think of all collateral running through the system and being rehypothecated and you don't know where it is. There are quite a few restrictions around that as is appropriate. But if you're going to rely on it for a liquidity risk management, you better be able to get your hands on it and know where it is and that you actually own it.